But before we start, you two split up.
Yep, we're changing seats.
Oh no!
It was an inside joke. She said it was an inside joke.
Feel like you get it again.
Dad.
All right, so you have to let us in on the joke.
Let them know what I did.
So,
This is Melissa, everyone.
hi.
Tim, Dr. Tim. Lisbon,
Savory.
Savory.
Yes, so we actually were hypnosis students of Vera's, and this was back in 2008. And when Tim and I showed up, Vera and her other co-teachers instantly knew we had a deep connection, many past lives together, and they kept splitting us up during class. Like, you two are absolutely not going to
Be together
work
again.
together. We're going to have to split you up. It was just a constant during the 10 days that we were there.
Yeah.
We're like, jeez.
I had to.
Yes.
Now look at us.
That's funny.
Still getting split.
Yeah.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Lori, Roxanne, Tack.
Roxanne's in Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii.
Tack
Wow.
is in San Francisco. I'm not sure where Lori is.
I don't
but
either. Or Stephanie. We
Yes.
have people from England.
Kathy.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you remember Kathy?
Hi,
Was
Kath.
she in your class?
I don't think, Kathy, were they in your class? I keep thinking she was.
Kathy,
but
wait. Blonde Kathy?
Well, she has kind of,
There's a blonde Kathy.
No. No.
she's kind of light brown hair.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was looking
She'll-
at the picture.
she'll
I
know.
don't remember
Yes.
everyone's
South
names.
Carolina.
That's awesome.
West
Yes.
Virginia, right
Yes.
here.
Yeah, West Virginia.
West
yes.
Virginia.
So, real quick before we get started, we always want to remind everyone to please like and subscribe. And we
Please.
have our announcements. We have all
2008.
the past lives and all the angel art and classes and spiritual information we have on our website at SELovesYou, and that's lilyu.com. And we also have our nonprofit website, which is SESouls.org.
Okay, yeah.
So we have a past lives class coming up. We have intuitive ability, and we also have colors and chakras. So you can check all those classes and events out on our website.
Be sure to subscribe publicly so we can do
Right.
your birthmark questions or past life questions, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Hi, Cindy.
Okay, so we're going to start off today with hearing an amazing. Well, maybe actually we should have Tim and Melissa.
Introduce themselves.
Yes.
Who
So
wants to go first?
I don't know.
Ladies first.
I know you both looked at me. I was like, oh no, I'm nervous.
Tim's outnumbered.
I'm outnumbered.
So I'm Melissa Savory. I am a co-owner of Nova Alternative Wellness in Shepherdstown, West Virginia, with Tim, my other half. And we've been out there for 5 years, moved there from Northern Virginia. And we provide a lot of alternative healing modalities, hypnosis being one. I primarily do the hypnosis. I'm also a Reiki master teacher, so I teach and provide Reiki sessions. And we're also shamans, and that's something that we absolutely love as well. And then I do intuitive readings. Tim and I developed a session we call our multiple therapist technique session, or we refer to it as our MTT, which you get both of us.
Tag team.
Yes. Very powerful session. I personally wish I could get one. Not possible. And I know that for me, this is my life's purpose. I know that this is what I am meant to do while I'm here on this plane, and I love it. Any little bit of help that I can assist someone with along
Right.
the healing journey is just,
And that's why we're
it's
here,
so
right?
rewarding. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
All right.
Awesome.
Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm Tim. I have been doing massage for since '93, and so I have a massage background, and I moved into craniosacral therapy. I've been doing that since '98, and all while doing that, of course, Melissa mentioned the shamanism, Peruvian-based shamanism that we do, and so I've been doing that part-time. All this time, and we've never worked for anyone, which is such a blessing.
I know.
To have been able to provide this work. And so now that we've been in Shepherdstown for so long, we're building a nice clientele, and we basically are saying this is our retirement job,
Yep.
right? And so
Exactly.
by day I'm in IT and doing technology and cybersecurity stuff, and Melissa does all the setting up the clients and stuff like that.
I do
and
it all.
She does it all.
I do it all.
She does it all.
I just don't do massage or anything. else.
She
I do
just points. She just. I'm like, where do I go?
tell him where to go.
Go. And she's
We're still.
yes, and she has the bag. I'm just honored and blessed. She has the bag. She has the sheets in order. Like this is the next person, and then I'm just blessed. And I just show up and do work on clients.
Yeah.
That's really great.
That's amazing.
Good team. You sound like
Yeah.
a great team,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, that's great. It works
And then
well.
tell them about how you wanted to go on vacation where?
Oh, I was gonna go on vacation to like Colorado or something like that.
And then what did Melissa say?
She said, we have to come see Vera. And so I'm like, okay.
Yes.
I didn't want to take that personally. I'm just like,
Of course not.
No, but the thing is like since 2008, I know I've been trying to get back to see Vera, Mom.
yes, we
And I was
love
just like, no, we are going to California. We have to see Vera. So here we
I know
go.
they were going to Yosemite, and I go, now it's going to be cooler, so dress in layers. And she's going, okay, Mom.
Yeah.
it. And when we tell people when we go to Starbucks and they're like, they're trying to be nice and they're like,
Why are
you're on
you-
vacation here?
That's what I told them, too.
Why here? Because we're here for you. We literally did this
Because I even
it's
told
so
Christina, I
fun.
go, they're going to try to get a place in Manteca?
Hey, it's a spiritual hub.
That's
right?
it. It is. It's so
Yeah.
exciting. And that's, I told them too, because usually a lot of people have been telling me, oh, I'm going to come visit you. And then last minute, oh, I couldn't make it. So I told them, I figured that's what you guys were going to do. So I
Right.
planned nothing.
And it's
Poor
been perfect.
guys.
It's been perfect. No,
Yeah.
it's
Great,
been
yeah.
it's been a great week. I can't believe it's over.
I
Basically.
know, it's so fast.
Now, how you both first
Met.
met Vera was at,
At the hypnosis school, yeah.
Yeah.
okay. And so you were her students at this
Yes.
during
and,
that time.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we just fond memories of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a
It's been
long.
great.
I mean,
It's
that
like a
was-
family afterwards, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
There's
is.
so many people that stay connected.
Yes. Yeah. So we really we're blessed and honored,
Yeah.
right? To
Just
have
like
that.
we are now.
Yes.
Yes.
Blessed
Honored
and
to have
honored.
you guys here.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
still doing the work.
Still
Yes,
doing the work.
still doing the work.
Absolutely.
You know?
Improving.
And that's what I
expanding.
tell
Yeah.
everybody, because there's like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? To help people.
Yeah.
And you find your
Right.
way on how you want to do it, but that's why we're here, right?
Yes.
To help each other.
And I just want to say, it's really cool too, because it's like when you meet people and you have that instant connection and you just know,
Yeah.
okay, we're from the same soul tribe.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it
Yes.
feels. And
Yes.
it's just awesome
Yeah.
it is.
to be able to connect with everyone and with you
agree.
all.
And
It's
stay
like,
connected.
yeah.
Cruise
and then
it.
It's like
Yeah.
past lives.
No, really,
The other
yeah.
side.
Yes.
Is it biting you?
That's in case you wanted. They told us to switch.
Oh my God! It is grabbing you.
I have more.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we are going to start out with, I can't wait to hear the
Got the
story.
squeaky chair too.
That's okay too.
So
I'm glad I'm not on it.
okay, so there's a past life that Tim and Melissa that you shared together.
Yeah.
That
Well, more than one, but
yes,
several.
But
Yeah.
there's this one that you picked up on. Was it this week? Okay, so
For Yosemite.
we are waiting to know.
yeah, I kept telling him, I go, now, tell me what you guys feel when you're done with Yosemite. I didn't say anything about a past life or anything. And so afterwards, that's when we started coordinating our
Yeah.
thoughts.
So that was an interesting experience. So driving up there, it's beautiful. I mean, it's
Yeah, stunning.
it's
Like
it's one of those things where it was really
Is it still
exciting
getting
to
you?
see.
Go
And
ahead.
there's
have
this.
that blanket.
Will you guys come?
Her
There's
hair's
this,
getting pulled out.
oh, okay. There's this.
I don't want to look like you.
I want to say vibrancy.
She's joking.
I know. I'm kidding. There was
Okay.
this vibrancy.
You're right.
You could see everything looks. It's like crystal clear to us. I mean, that's what my experience was driving. And when we get there, we're just noticing the different the different terrain and all of that. And so we get to there's a part of that we paid the $35 to get into the park, right? And we get in there, you stop, and then there was construction, and we were taking pictures and things like that. And we get up to the top, and right where, not the top, I don't know if we made it that far, but we get right up to
Pretty high up.
Pretty high up. And then there's this tunnel, if anybody's familiar with it. So we got to the tunnel. About that point, was about, white knuckles. I was, white knuckles, I know. I had white knuckles on the steering wheel because I was having height issues.
Oh, wow.
And so I was driving and I was nervous. And I said, you know what? I cannot enjoy this, being this fearful of driving at this height. Because, you can drive and you can look over and you see nothing. I mean,
There's no guardrails.
Right.
And even when there was a guardrail, there was still this feeling that I had. And that was really uncomfortable. So, Melissa went and, we stopped in an area where one of the fires had been. Mm-hmm. And I actually played my flute to...
Tim's going to play for us later.
No, he isn't.
Yay!
Did you see Chrissy?
I do have it, yeah.
Oh, I can't
She's
wait
like
to
this.
hear it.
So I played, and Melissa went hunting for rocks, as all good shamans do. And we just played there, and then we turned around, and she had to drive us back.
I
Right?
saved his life
Again.
again.
And so, and then on the way back,
I'm dying by this time. I'm like going, because they didn't tell me that part. They just said it was kind of a weird drive.
Yes.
And then I started telling them about what I was getting.
Yeah.
And then Tim just like looked at Melissa and went,
Yeah. And so one of the things we were bickering about on the way back was along the river, there on the other side was a path. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's kind of like a towpath. And she said it was like a railroad tracks, right? And
Well, because of what I was saying, like the concrete barrier, or not barriers, but the support that what a track would go over.
Got
But
it.
on the way up, I was also thinking, well, that's an interesting path, and I was drawn to it. And then I was seeing these, and I was like, well, it can't be because it's too narrow there. And then we weren't really bickering. Maybe we were just trying to make.
like,
a
there's no
point.
way a train could have been on there. I'm like, there's no train on there.
they were actively discussing.
Yes.
And so
We didn't argue. We didn't fight.
And so it was really interesting to be drawn to the beauty, the beauty of the water, and then to see this trail over there. And I was like, and because she was driving, I was just staring at it on the way back.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, there's no way we could have put a train going. And I'm being righteous, right? And then
Yeah.
and then we get back and we're telling the story to Vera, and she starts to, she says, so how did you feel? And I was like, well, I felt it was like we could come back here anytime, every time, right? So we've been to Muir Woods, or I've been to Muir Woods 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
right? And which is another part of the story. I was terrified driving through Muir Woods the 3rd time, not the first 2 times.
See, now that's the point.
It's the 3rd time. I've driven it all the time. And so I was like, something must have happened, because of course I know about this, something must have happened in my 40s, in my late 40s, that makes me nervous about driving and being able to see over the cliffs that you do. And so I was been trying to figure it out. But I started to
Buzzword
get
is
it.
the cliff.
The cliff,
the cliff.
right? Absolutely the cliff. And so we're sitting, and Vera's, asking us what else we got, and then she goes, you were pushed off a cliff, right?
I'm dying. I wanted to come from you guys, but I'm so excited.
You're like, okay, I can't
help
help it.
Oh my God!
That's when we went.
Like, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It explains a lot because we actually went to Sedona 3-4 years ago, something like that, and
Flagstaff.
yeah, we drove
All the
up
way-
to Flagstaff from Sedona, and well, he was driving and he was literally like hugging the yellow line, and I'm taking pictures, but there were a few areas I was like, whoa, that's a little. And we
Yeah.
made it back down, and I also had the same experience my second time at Muir Woods on this trip, and I was literally over like this, and he's like, "Don't touch me." I'm like, "I'm not touching you. Just stay close to the yellow line."
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is crazy. You know, you go to places, and you're okay, and then suddenly, you know, something happens,
Yeah.
and you're like, where did that come from?
And that's
Yeah.
that irrational fear that you can't understand.
Yes,
And then you know it's a past life experience.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now going
And
up
look
that
at what,
Yosemite,
just for a
I've heard-
second, Stephanie King, look at this one. She goes, this reminds me of a part in the Celestine prophecy. What did we talk about?
So yes.
Are
so
you
We
serious?
talked about the Celestine
So-
prophecy.
Oh my gosh.
when we were in
Oh,
Muir
Muir
Woods,
Woods. I'm
when we
getting
were in Muir
chills.
Woods,
Yes.
we had paused and stopped, and we heard that hum that I think you're talking about.
Yes,
Yeah,
this
this
is
And
it.
it was just kind of like,
This is awesome. Wait.
what is that hum?
We
Right,
put
and
that in
then
here.
and then when we sat down, we could hear these whatever creature it was, and it was chirping, and I was like, that thing is
I think they
triangulating
were
us.
fairies, honestly.
We really did.
Right, Kathy?
really think
Fairies. Because they were like, and then we had a bird,
And they got louder.
and then we
Yes.
stepped
The more
out.
we started paying attention
Yes,
to them,
that hum.
they got louder.
Yes.
And then,
Interesting.
yeah, I'm getting chills.
And then
like
he would
crazy.
step back, and it would, no,
We
you
would-
would step
we would
I
forward.
could step. There was like this.
Forward.
You would step in it. It was you would hear it.
Yeah.
And you would step out, and it
You
was
didn't
like
hear it.
Yeah,
it didn't fade. It was
Yeah.
just like
it just stopped.
it's
Right.
like- and I was like, that is amazing.
Isn't
But in
that
this,
cool?
yeah, in this particular instance, there was one that kind of followed us out and stopped right as we got out of, I'm going to say that triangular territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we were just like, wow. But Muir Woods is just a magical place.
Oh,
yes.
I mean, if you haven't been there, if you
You
are
have to go.
intuitive, sensitive, whatever, you will feel and hear these trees. They talk to you. I mean, it's just like,
Yeah.
I was like, I could live here. Oh, I could live down there. And
Yeah.
and it was
Wow.
just beautiful. We've had a lot of experiences there.
Yeah.
It's funny she should mention that because on the way out of Yosemite, which we went to the next day, she
That
goes,
Yep.
I could put a house right there.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting too. And so then Vera filled in the gaps for us.
And I went, and you did.
So I would travel back and forth from Muir Woods to Yosemite, right? And I was like,
Well, you didn't start out to be a gunslinger, but I mean, and that wasn't like your primary
right.
job, but you had so many knocks in life that was unfair, and so you were trying to make it right.
Yes.
So you would steal from the rich,
I was Robin Hood.
Robin Hood of
Yes,
Muir
yes.
Woods, and
I am Robin Hood of Muir Woods.
but you're more about conservation. You were really into like the way. That's how you met Melissa, because she was Native American.
Okay.
So that's how, and then together they would find ways to, you would show them all the ins and outs of where they were. Muir Woods too.
Yeah.
John Muir, you were the one that helped him figure out all that stuff along with,
And that's what I led you through
Yes,
Muir Woods.
yes.
I was first.
yeah.
Yeah,
On
and
this
that's what
trip.
she did, right?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Like,
you
no,
know,
but
yeah.
look at this and look at this. This tree, feel the trees. You have to feel the trees. This feels like paper.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's what paper's made of. I'm like, Smart ass.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. We heard and then when we got down to the bottom in Muir Woods, after this one trail, we heard buzzing.
Oh yeah.
And initially, I'm like, it sounded like bees. I was like, oh, it's bees. And I'm like, it's not bees. Because once I stepped in even further, it was like this vibration,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
buzz, like penetrated.
Yes.
And it
It's
was
just
so
amazing.
magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we stepped out, and you couldn't hear it. You
Yeah.
know, and we were kind of playing like, are we making this up or are we not? It's like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, is this real? And like, you know, you have to pinch yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
that logical brain wants to make sense of it, and
Yeah.
sometimes there's just not. But then you put the pieces together, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell you this morning. I think last night I had an addition to the to that trip, the Yosemite trip. I remembered having a dream where I was on that trail this morning. I remember
Wow.
that I was on that trail, and the wall had fallen out, or the road, if you will, the man-made road had fallen out, and there was this little arch. And the
Oh, yeah,
problem
went
is
up on
we
the
couldn't.
side.
We went on horseback, and I'm talking about like this. is this morning. I'm like, yeah, we were on
horseback.
horseback back then, and we couldn't get the horses
Get on the horse.
across,
See?
right? And so we had to build something so that those horses could get across. And I'm like, this came to me this morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's what
Yeah.
happens too whenever you do get a regression or you get information about it. In the days and weeks ahead, you get more and more and more information. And the interesting part for me too was Tim is very peaceful. He's a peaceful man. It's like he does not go out of his way if there's a confrontation. You know, like you
Right,
stick up
right.
for yourself. I'm not saying,
Right.
but
I have
it's
a
like
long fuse.
you have right, and you find a way to make it work, and that's exactly how he was he was a gunslinger, but he found
Wow.
every which way but loose to not have to use it.
That's awesome.
Navigating around situations.
Yeah,
And I have to-
intuitively.
Yeah, I have to say that he's very good. He has a very good mind in doing that
Yeah,
now.
now.
You know, being his wife and seeing him, no, there's a better way. And he would like, okay, I figured it out. Or he'd get an intuitive hit and be like, okay, this is what they're telling me.
Yeah.
This is what we need to do. I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
But he's very, I want to say crafty.
Yeah, no, really, that's
crafty
it.
mind.
Yeah.
Now me, I'm just, the intuition. I'm doing and
Yes.
I'm paving the way,
Right.
right?
Right.
And he's like, this is how we have to do it. So I
Yeah.
just,
And Roxanne is asking, did the forest hold their memory because they once lived there? And that's the cell memory. It's not just people we have cell memory with. It's structure. It's places.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's things, you know. Like
Yeah.
this
Cool.
one client I had a life with Nefertiti. And she had to have a bust of Nefertiti in her house. And she was not black. But she loved her.
Right.
And
Okay.
she was in her court in a past life.
Okay.
She found out.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's what's.
that's interesting.
And you know what's really interesting
Yes, he
too
does.
is that you guys came here and you found this out now
Right.
for some reason, right?
I could have been in, Colorado, Breckenridge.
It wasn't happening.
Right. So it's really cool.
That's
like
even a blessing.
yeah, so you discovered this another life together in this magical, amazing place that you were at together, and now Tim fell in that life. Was it off?
Well,
the
he was
horse?
pushed.
Oh, he was pushed. Now, what happened with that?
Well, because they were championing the underdogs, right? Anything.
was
So
helping
that's
people
who
that
he
were
would
the poor
fund
and-
people that were ripped off, or things like that. And along with John Muir. I mean, John Muir was along with the philosophy that you guys had, in making sure that the land was open for everyone, not just for the elite, kind of thing. So that was very important to them. And to take care of the planet too, that was very important to you guys,
Yeah.
which you taught them,
Yeah. I still love
because you had
connection.
visions of what it was going to look like later.
wow.
And if they hadn't have made it, is it a
Oh,
conservatory?
yeah, it
or
is,
if they didn't conserve it
definitely.
at the time that you guys were there,
Right,
it would have been
wow.
demolished. It
That's
would have
amazing.
yeah.
But see, that's amazing because it takes people like you to create programs and situations to where something is, preserved,
Right.
that we need. I mean, it's so healthy for our environment, for places like that to exist, and for us mentally and physically and
And where would
spiritually
the
to get
fairies
away.
go?
Right.
Yes,
Where else would they go?
exactly.
Where else?
Right?
Would
That's what they
That's
got.
amazing.
Yeah.
So they were together, and then he was pushed. Tim was pushed, and then what happened with Melissa?
So what I was told.
Oh, is this a story we don't want to go to? Is it?
we all went.
No, but see, he was told exactly what they were going to do to you before they pushed him.
Oh,
And yeah, so
sorry, Melissa.
but then that's what I was
Sorry,
asking Tim. Do you have any guilt feelings of not being able to protect her because you were pushed off? Do you have any kind of control issue or anything that?
Oh yeah, I didn't think of it that
Yeah,
way.
so
Yeah.
that's part of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's stuff that you'll get later.
Yep.
Yeah, because it is amazing, just like what you were saying. It's like here, you found this information out, but then this thing came to you in the dream. This piece
Right,
of these
and it'll
parts,
probably
these
keep
lead
coming.
throughs,
Yeah.
some memory.
But then you understand the different things about why you are the way you are.
yes.
Like when there's a lot of times that I instantly go into bodyguard mode when I'm walking with Melissa. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so and that's just how and I guess that's part of how I'm
Because you
ingrained,
could
yeah.
feel, I could feel you when you were falling, and it wasn't about you.
Oh.
It was
Ah,
about
okay.
her.
Right.
It was not, you had that fear, but it was more a fear of not being able to control the situation.
It's just giving me chills.
I know,
You can
it's
just
awesome.
feel this tangible love
I'm
connection
like, oh,
you
he
guys
just
have.
really loves me.
Yeah.
Through lives.
Yeah.
Through lives.
That's amazing.
Melissa had a bear in Yosemite that followed her around.
Aw.
Yeah, my protection, my
Yeah.
big teddy bear. Right?
Yeah.
And that's your bear totem in
Yeah.
your life
Well, she
now.
has many totems.
I
but-
do have many totems, but my experience at Yosemite, I was just so awestruck, I guess, with the landscape and the colors and the vibrancy of those colors. It's like it is like Celestine Prophecy, where the colors just vibrated.
Yeah, they're vibrant. Yeah.
And it was like you don't see color like that
Right.
anywhere else. I
Except
But I was
almost feel like-
questioning it though.
But
I was
I-
like, is it? I mean, I can look outside and I can see, oh, that's vibrant. But this was a different
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and maybe it is because of our past life.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
that
Yeah.
extra
Whoa.
vibration that you
Yeah.
guys are feeling because it's, oh my God, we're home.
Yeah.
You know, more so for you, it was your home too.
Yes.
It was like you had the same feelings, like John Muir had the same feelings. They're thanking you for saving the animals in the forest.
Aw, thank you guys.
Nice, yeah.
If I could.
Yes. Yeah.
So I feel like they're dying to know what happened.
Yes.
Happened to me up there. So literally dying now. So apparently, what Tim's fear was what was going to happen to me before he was pushed. After that, all these, what were these men? Were they?
You were saying that they were.
What kind of men that were there that pushed him off and then came towards me? Do you
Were they
The term you
soldiers
used was-
yeah,
or?
what were they?
They were military. I know
Military,
that. Part of
okay.
military.
Like
But they were
militant.
also, they were military, but also wanting information about, they were into gold. They wanted to know where the gold was,
Where's
and
the
they knew
treasure?
you knew
Yeah.
where it was, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And they had to get rid of you because you were trying to conserve everything, and
Protected
you just
them.
screwed everything up for them. And when they would loot, you would give them, not them, but you'd give the people that they looted
Right.
a chance to stay there and still, and with more fortification
Yeah.
where they were ready for them next time.
Okay.
So you didn't just give them money. You told them, like, this is what you need to do. This is how you save yourselves. This is,
I'm like the current, what's the current show? Equalizer.
yeah.
It was like that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm the Equalizer. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's really, what a good man, and a lot of
Yes.
honor to help people like that.
Yeah.
That's
That's cool.
amazing.
So
Great story.
yeah, but these men, what happened to me is I don't know if I want to say this on. Can I say it? I was basically like gang raped by all these men, and then I was killed. But an important piece of information that Vera shared with me is that I would let them have that part of me, but they would never get my mind.
Exactly.
And I would just stare at these men deep into their eyes.
That was the
and
thing.
was just like-
And there were some of the men that were going, no, that's enough, stop. But it starts getting into that gang mentality where
Yeah.
some people
Yeah.
just kind of go crazy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were staring at these people and they were getting freaked out.
Yeah. Maybe that's my dead stare that I have.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'd be trying to, hey, can you fix your face? I mean, are you like, and everybody like, is she mad? I'm like, no, she's not mad. She's just kind of like,
Yeah, it can be intense sometimes.
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah.
Those intense eyes. And I'm like, turn that off, turn it down.
Yeah.
Just turn it down.
But she wanted them to know what she,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I can.
And then
give
you're
a look.
ready to meet him. You're
Yeah.
ready to go with him. So.
Absolutely. And then they killed me, I
Yeah.
guess. So.
But
Yeah.
that's amazing strength,
Yeah.
and that's that light and that spark that they couldn't take from you.
Right.
But then
You
all
go.
of the people, all of the people that they helped got those people.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
See?
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, we set the stage
Yep.
for that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Wow.
Good. So we actually ended up protecting them by.
Yes. But
Right.
see how you guys showed them how to to survive and to
Yeah.
not let,
Wow.
because they were
It's
being
amazing.
used over and over again. They would go to the same places because they knew where they could easily
Right.
get their money or whatever.
So you empowered them with your living example, and then also with the example what happened.
Yeah.
You empowered them to.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
What an amazing
And it-
story.
and
Who
then-
knew, Vera?
And then we'll
I
continue,
know.
but I think we'll continue to piece things together.
Yes.
With
Yes.
even with all of the other past life work that we've done together, that we've been together, we can start to see how it shapes the way we are today.
Right.
Right. And so it's really fascinating what we've learned over the years with different past life regressions. Right?
Yeah. And it is interesting too, because learning this, it's like, oh wow, and then you start thinking back through your lifetime, and it's, oh wow, this makes so much sense. Because after a certain point, you realize that, wow, I've been this way because of this event or that event.
Exactly.
Or whatever. And it's just like, oh my gosh. You
Yeah.
know, and you don't
Yeah.
realize it when you're in it, because you think, well, why is this happening? I mean,
Right.
it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, knowing that you fell off the cliff, are you still afraid?
Yeah.
See, it's baby steps. It's like you
Right.
understand the fear and then you work on that.
Yes.
Release that past life, let it go. Go
That,
ahead.
that is such a good point,
Yes.
because a lot of times, we may
People think that-
that okay, I just found out that this is how I got, I'm having cell memory. I have diabetes because I was stabbed through the pancreas to my brother, and he has diabetes in this life. But if that's not going to all of a sudden,
Right.
change his illness. He still has that, but it can help to alleviate it or maybe control a little bit of it, right? The aspect of fear or. What have you. There's many different facets of controlling
Exactly.
cell memory and negativity, but it doesn't necessarily take away that fear immediately.
Yeah.
I think the big. I'm sorry. Who's going?
Who has
I think
the
one
stick?
of the biggest.
Here's
You
your
do.
talking stick.
So, I think one of the biggest important things, first of all, is being aware of those past life issues, so then you can learn from them, heal from them, work with them, right, and then move forward within it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Here's your story.
I
Oh,
just
thank
started
you.
thinking about this. It's like there was a time. So there
We
was
have
a
to
time.
do that one of the classes.
There was a time when I worked in the auditorium, and I was on the tech crew, and I was doing the sound and lighting, and we were high above the stage, and I used to run down that, no fear of
Yeah,
running.
see?
You know what I mean? Down that, and we would hang upside down and adjust the light and things like that. And so I didn't have these fears of height like this, at this magnitude. So now I know that I was once there. Now that I know that
The age
this
you
is
are
what
now.
caused, right? I'm like somewhere around this age, because now I'm like scared to walk across a bridge that's gated. Right in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, we have this bridge that you can walk across, and the gates are high. So it's like, but I'm just terrified of doing that now. And so it's really interesting. I don't have a problem with flying. I don't have a problem with So it's just those types, that scenario that's very similar, probably to mountains. Together,
Oh,
the
yeah.
combination of that may be what the issue is because I was pushed off of it.
Yep.
So now I have something I can work on, and I can just dig in a little deeper. And maybe we should have. Now I'm sitting here going, maybe we should have just sat there instead of explored there, but just sat there.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time
Yeah,
we'll go
we
and
will
we'll
be
sit
back.
there.
Yeah.
I'll have somebody,
You
but I'll have
have
somebody
to.
drive me. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Uber.
Yeah.
Blindfolded. Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Feel like you're there yet? No.
Yeah.
But when that's going to be interesting too, though, when you go back,
Yeah.
will you be as afraid as you were the first time?
Or will we be able to get a little further? 'Cause
Yeah.
we didn't finish.
You don't know.
I turned around. I drove back. We said that, but I drove back down and through, getting out.
Yeah.
I had no
Until we
problem.
got out of the wood.
The height.
There you
Got out of
go.
the
See?
woods. And then after Mariposa, you were able to drive again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was an interesting trip. It was fun. It was fun, but it was still like, oh,
It was an experience, yeah.
What was that moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Powerful.
Yes.
Exactly. So out of all the stuff that you guys have done, is there like one client that sticks out between?
You're amazing. I was just thinking about asking something like that too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
Joke's on you.
Yeah.
That sticks out, and you could have different ones if you want, but
Yeah.
that, because there's like certain past lives that I've done that I can really, that I'll never forget, or readings, and I'll never forget the situation.
Wow.
The one that I'm feeling is really strong.
You can do it.
It's really strong.
Yeah.
You know who she is. I literally sobbed with her when she first came in because she'd never been hypnotized before. And she came in, and before she sat down so we could just chat a little bit first, she went and she stood in front of me, and she was just like, 'cause she's also very intuitive, and she's an empath, and so she has these abilities. And she just looked at me and she goes, "I trust you." Now, I talked to her on the phone before, of course, and when she sat down, she started sharing some of her really horrific traumas that her family had, done to her from the moment of birth. And I didn't even get all of it, and I didn't need it. I could feel it. I literally sobbed, and it was probably the most impactful client as far as the depth of she just still had compassion for these people and what they had done for her. And to me, that's an incredible
Oh, yeah,
thing.
right
It's
there.
a powerful soul to be able to forgive the family members that had horrific things done, had done horrific things to her. And then even after one hypnosis session, she was just like, "I feel so much better."
Yeah.
And just the gratitude and thank you so much, and she just, "I love you and thank you for being there to support me." And it was just like, I still feel it.
Yes,
here
and
talking
you'll
about
never
it, it's just
forget
like-
it. Exactly.
But she's still, she's an incredible woman. She's an incredible human being that has such love and compassion for everybody, and I mean everybody because of her experiences.
Right.
And just for her to learn and understand and have clarity around a lot of
And
the
that's why
trauma.
we chart challenges.
Yes.
People go, "Oh no, there's no way I would chart this."
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
it's not
you
just
do.
for your experience.
Right.
It's for the people around you.
Yeah.
it's for us right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yes.
never
This
know.
moment, right?
This
Yeah.
moment right
This
now.
very moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she's
so important.
sweet woman.
Awesome.
You
Tim,
know,
do you
just-
have one? Or is
Yeah,
it the same
I don't know,
lady?
maybe the same one, but
Yeah.
the thing that I got was really that this woman was in her 80s, and she said to me, "You have done things for me that I've been battling with since I was 3 years
Yeah.
old."
And that's the power of what we do.
3 years
You know?
old, and I was like, "Oh my God!" You know what I mean? I was moved, right? And so, but it was still like, I wish we would have found. I actually said, I wish we would have found each other sooner.
Aw, see, but it was at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But and that is, and those clients that come to us, whatever modality we get.
Yeah.
But
we
Lori,
use.
see how empowered she was though from that situation, from learning about the different past lives and incorporating that in her current lifetime because she's kind of going through the same thing
Oh,
that your
wow.
friend did.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's why she said
Yeah.
she can relate. Yeah.
Yeah, it helped her immensely, and even just being aware of it,
Right.
healing from some of those situations, even through the hypnosis session, it just gave her such relief. And,
Yes.
oh wow, I can breathe again, kind of thing, and I can go on, and it's not my fault.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I
see,
can
this
have
is where
those
sometimes the medical community gets upset
Right.
because it takes a lot longer, like therapy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a client that was going through therapy for 7 years. 7 years. And then one hypnosis session, they were going, "This is what I've been asking for."
Yeah.
you know, through the therapy, and not to discount,
Not to
because
discount.
people,
Right.
Absolutely
we
not.
need therapists
Yes, yes,
desperately.
yes.
I'm not saying that. It's just, you know, they want us to stay in our lane, but we are in our lane.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
spiritual aspect of it, and they deal with the medical aspect.
Right.
And
Yeah.
but if they meld it together, what powerful!
Right.
Yes.
Know it.
Instead of trying to say no, these people aren't credible.
Yes.
You know, because there's always going to be charlatans everywhere. But I'm talking about credible people.
Yeah.
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 And then when we can take, and I've noticed that I want to say I won't call it blessed, but I've been seeing a lot of clients with TMJ. And so, and because of the somatic emotional component of the body work that we do, we notice that those energy cysts, right, they get stored in our bodies. And
Right.
a lot of times
Yeah.
in their jaw, and I put my hands on somebody's
What do
head.
I say in the hypnosis session? Especially in the jaw.
Right. I'm like, did someone punch you in the face? I'm like, you know what I mean? I have to. I'm like, yes. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. And so, but we can really get that.
Right.
So we can get underneath some of this chronic pain or chronic issues that we have, and we say, it's in this life, and they're like, well, no, it's not in this life. Okay, then it must be in it. And then we go in our minds, it must be in another life. You should go see Melissa, and we can get that taken care of
Right,
too, right?
right.
Right? And, or we can dialogue on the
One-stop
table
shopping.
about that.
That's
Yeah.
right. We got
So,
it all.
I mean, we can inter-refer like that, but it's even me with dialoguing, you know, having the training as well, we can get to some of the bottom of some of these things.
Right.
Yeah.
It's powerful stuff.
And that's what I love about. I love the spiritual aspect of the healing and the answers. That really helps so much. It's not just the traditional, like what you were just talking
Right.
about.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, thank God. I mean, she was in her 80s, but she got it.
Yes.
She was able
Yes.
to get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's amazing because sometimes we don't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just I guess that's just who I am and what I have to deal
Yeah.
with, and I'll figure it out. But you go through life that way. But look at what you could be. Look at what you're missing.
Yes.
If you
Right.
just take that on and not try something like hypnosis or something, you know, that can really empower you. Wow, I'm so free, and now I can, you know, releasing that block.
And then we find it like frustrating. We see friends and family suffering, and we know we can help
And they
them.
don't.
Yeah, I
It's
know that
It's
one.
like, we know because we can see exactly, or we can, you know, we can experiment or explore,
Right.
right? But this is what we feel that we could do to help get underneath of that. And sometimes we have to, you know, even as a massage therapist on the train going to DC to go to work, I'm like, ooh, something wrong with your back. Wow, you know what I mean? You want to
Exactly.
fix them, and you can't.
So somebody was asking if the masks are causing TMJ.
well, it sure is pulling your.
How hard are they pulling your ears? No.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. So I think that there is, because as a craniosacral I use 5 grams of pressure, which is the weight of a nickel, right? And so if you can imagine that tension, I mean, I think it could have something to do with some of that. You know what I mean? Because this whole section here, you know, from our temporal bones down to our mandible, it is, you know, at that moment immobilized, right? And so, and then a lot of us that have nasal issues, I know that I was doing a session with a mask on, and my nose starts running. Right, because now we're breathing that, and so I have to like, excuse me, run out of the room, and like. So I think there's a lot going on,
And the emotionality of it.
right?
Right, and
Because it can trigger something.
Yeah, and we've been seeing a lot of people, and I think for us light workers, there's so much work to do now coming out of this, because
But you
people
still have to
need-
wear your mask, please.
Yes.
You still need to, you know, people are like want positive touch, right? We've heard stories of
Healing
of
touch.
domestic violence going up, right? And so we're starting to see a lot.
People
of
need to be
clients-
around people.
Yeah.
People need to be
Right.
touched.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and we've had to stay away from each other.
Yeah.
So it's causing all kinds of.
Well, not only yes that, and then with people wearing masks, you don't see the smiles.
Yeah.
You miss that.
We've
So
heard
then
that
you just
one,
go in
too.
like it's hard to see one smile under a mask unless you're exaggerating
Yeah.
the squint, you know. But
Right.
and it's hard because then it causes that probably
Yeah.
causes tension too, because you're not,
But you still have to wear your mask.
Right.
I'm
I'm not saying not to, but it's
No, I know, but people might.
It's a shameless
yeah.
plug for us to come see me. And I'll
Yeah,
fix it
yeah,
up
there
with
you go.
No, I do think that I had this funny story. I had someone I was giving them a massage, and I'm doing the massage thing, and when I was leaving, like, hey, thank you very much, and they were like,
Yeah.
trying to give me the elbow. I'm like, hey man, I just had my hands all over you, so if you're afraid to shake my hand now, it's too late. You know what I mean? So we're
Yeah.
really now looking at different ways, and and it's
Right.
really unfortunate. So,
It is, but once we get through it, if we all work together,
Yes.
Right.
then we can
Absolutely.
start doing what we were doing before.
Yes.
But better.
better,
Better.
absolutely better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, it's been a really interesting conversation. I was just thinking about, because last week we were talking about our brain and how much of our brain that we don't utilize. And there's so much answers within there,
Right.
and helping your client to find that healing. And it's just so amazing because that's the cell memory, it's the past lives, it's tapping into that ancient knowledge within as well as
Yes,
from the other,
that ancient knowledge.
all the spiritual aspect. That's what I love for the healing that so many of us need. Emotional
Absolutely.
healing
Yes.
Absolutely.
and the
That's
physical.
the best.
It's like people need it more now, I think, than before. I mean, people have always needed it, but I think even now because of this past year and so many other things that are heavier on us and things that we
Right.
couldn't do what we normally did, like,
Oh, they just gave me something. Sorry.
Go.
The question about the masks, the mask thing. So to give you an idea, sorry, they just gave me this. I have to tell you. So with the mask concept, a craniosacral has a technique where we actually pull your ears back, right, and then that takes the tentorium as a membrane that separates the hemispheres, and that's how we access it through through this. So now imagine now that we have our ears pushed forward,
Right.
and it's actually pulling on that. And so we know that when we do that gentle ear tug, 5 grams of pressure, the benefits that it does to your system. And so now, I'm glad, thank you for that question.
Yes,
every
Stephanie.
client now has to have that ear tug so that they can help free up the
Right.
hemispheres.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
yes.
Yes, thank you.
That's great.
That's it.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, it won't be as long as we all do what we're supposed to do. It won't be as long as it could be. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
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 So let's just all stick together, work together, and do it.
Yep.
All right.
And then we can go hug.
Yep. Hug.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get back to random hugs.
Absolutely.
All
So-
right, Stephanie, good job.
Now your website, it's Nova.
Nova Alternative Wellness.
You can check that out.
.com.
.com.
And we'll
Right,
put
Tim?
the link.
Choo-doo-choo-choo-choo.
And we'll put the link in our information
Okay.
too. Yay!
As
so
we tug on our
excited.
ears.
Tug on your ears.
Tug on our ears
Pull 'em
while
back.
Tim plays.
Okay,
Oh,
this is
no,
gonna
where
make
is
us
it?
feel really good.
Oh, look, I left it. Oh, wow.
Did you really?
Oh, great!
This thing is really high. And it's a where did we got this in Sedona, didn't
We got that in Sedona.
right. And it's really
Road trip.
road trip.
Yeah.
And so I don't play this often, but I can get a note out of her. It's gonna be rough at first until it gets warmed up, okay?
Okay. I love that.
Oh my.
That was awesome.
That was really awesome.
I'm sorry, where was the rough part?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that was
It's
so
on.
great.
It's on already.
That was really nice. I love that kind of flute.
Well,
music.
before we
it's
go though, we have to
Nice.
talk about.
Oh, the
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is great. Okay.
All right, I made Tim and Melissa a bracelet because I knew they were coming to visit, and I was showing the ladies. First, I showed them Tim's because I hadn't made yours yet. So I showed them Tim's, and they're going, well, I don't think he'll like it. Because it has these things on it that looks too weird. So I went, okay. So I just put it with all the rest of the bracelets, right? And then I made Melissa's, and I thought, well,
cool.
she probably won't like it either, so I'll put it over there. When they came over the other day, Tim was standing at the bar. That's where I have all the bracelets right now. And he goes, if I were to buy any of these, it would be that one. How far did I jump back?
She almost fell on the floor. Like,
Me! No way! He picked the exact bracelet I made for him.
Yes. How cool is that?
And then Melissa walked up, and then I said, okay, Melissa, which one do you want? And then she went right to the one I made her.
That's amazing.
I felt
Yeah.
it. It was like, yeah, I couldn't deviate off it.
I was
saw
like,
it
how
immediately.
cool
and
is
I was
that?
Like, this is
Isn't that-
mine.
It's like you sprinkled Tim over here.
And
Melissa over
So
here.
talk about, I'm telling you guys, there's intention in these bracelets.
yes, when you have those stones and they can hold it.
Yeah.
And that is. But I mean, I like it. I mean, it wasn't like I love this, and you picked it, right?
Yeah,
that's
you
cool.
designed it, for me, and that's the part that I'm like,
And all the stones that I felt were for Tim.
Right.
Right.
And all the stones that I felt that was for Melissa.
yeah,
That at this point.
Right,
right,
right.
Yeah.
and it's amazing how that's just
It's amazing.
we are blessed. Thank you.
Yes. You guys are blessings
Thank you.
in my life. And now it's Chris's life.
Yes, excellent, excellent.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
For being
Oh,
here.
it's an honor.
Coming
Thank
all
you.
the way.
And when we
across.
have our cruise, our retreat.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
That'll be cool.
We'll be there.
Exactly.
We'll have to all meet. Maybe we can meet up on Roxanne's doorstep. She lives in Hawaii.
Okay.
She can make us cookies. I've been hearing about these cookies.
Yeah.
Cookies. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Yes.
really good at that.
Yes. That's our next one.
All right. That'll be great.
Yeah.
We're there.
We love you guys.
Love you all.
you.
Thank you so much for being here. And Vera,
Journey with us.
All right.
See you tomorrow.